I'm excited to be joined by the editor of the Madison Business Review, Mr. James Faris. James, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me back. I'm happy to be here.
So tell us about this article that you wrote recently.
I'd love to. So on Monday, I wrote an article in the Madison Business Review, and it basically relates to how productivity is affected by an increase in work. So basically what I did is a cross-sectional data analysis of hours worked per week by full-time employees in 37 selected countries. And then I took that and compared that to nominal GDP per capita to account for how productivity was affected. And basically what we found is that unexpectedly, as hours per week increased and as the work week dragged on, GDP per capita fell, which was not what you would expect to happen. So that was definitely a surprising result. Correlation does not necessarily equal causation, but it was definitely something noteworthy and something I wanted to share with the community.
Wow, great stuff. So what does this mean for employers who want to increase their productivity?
It means a couple things. Number one, it's important for employers to implement regularly scheduled time off, which not only improves mental health and lowers employee turnover rates, but it actually can boost productivity. That was the main thing we found from this. Not only that, but it cuts down on time theft. Time theft is basically any personal time workers take, like to check social media or make a personal phone call while they're at work. It affects 75% of American businesses, which is definitely startling and something noteworthy.
Interesting. And so can this be applied to students in any way?
Absolutely. So as we found in the data analysis, as work increased, hours worked per week increased past a certain point, productivity fell. So students should learn to prioritize sleep and take time off to prevent that diminishing returns that we found in the data analysis. So right around 40 hours a week is what I found might be the best option for students, and that's something reflected in the data.
Very interesting. And so what is it about this shorter work week that kind of makes it more productive?
It's a good question. We can't definitively say for sure from this example alone, but it appears that employees are more productive when they're happy and content. That's something that we found routinely, and we're finding that employees are demanding more of a work-life balance, and they don't want to spend their entire lives at work.
Interesting. And just how likely is it that an employer might use this info to their advantage?
Well, it depends on the employer, but my understanding is that the smart companies will implement this information. Like I said, the times have changed, and employers want to find dedicated, hardworking employees, and those hardworking employees are not as willing to just spend their entire lives working. They want a work-life balance, and they don't want to fully sell out to companies. They demand a balance, time off, and regularly scheduled, predictable time off will go a long way to not only boosting employees' mental health, but improving productivity as well.